Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. But guys, week 9 of the APA, the St. Louis Rampardos are taking on the LA Spice and KayCreigh in an epic week 9 showdown. Now, for those who don't know, it is now week 9. We are in the third part of the season, the third, which means that we have a new team, so that's pretty cool. If you haven't checked out the new team breakdown, I'll put it in the description below. And as always, you can check out my opponent, KayCreigh, as well. This should be a pretty fun matchup, man. I'm excited to try the new team out. We got some cool stuff. Tornadus Theory in form. I got the Mammo Swine, an old friend in Reuniclus, ALOLA and Muck, Bronzong, Slurpuff, Blastoise, Drampot, Ninjask, thundurus-t Theory in form, and then Mega Heracross, baby. It's gonna be fun. Kay's got an interesting team, so hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you guys are new, show some love. Let's do it. She's got a Jirachi, Mega Altaria, Gengar, Vaporeon, Shaman, Blaziken, Xurkitree, Absol, Porygon 2, Aurorus, and Leavanny. Couple things that I noticed first and foremost. Mega Altaria is a big threat, always is a setup threat. I have a Bronzong, which is one of the better responses to Mega Altaria. Gengar's a huge threat. Same with Jirachi, but I have a ALOLA and Muck, which is pretty cool. I look at things like their team and I say, okay, there's actually no ground type, which means that Thundurus in theory kind of runs through it, but then I realize Porygon 2 gets Trace, so you kind of have to be wary of that because it can trace my Volt Absorb on my Thundurus. Does have the option for webs with Leavanny, but otherwise very little hazard removal on Kay's side. Just Blaziken and Altaria really have defog, and that's it. So you'll kind of see my strategy here, like I said, in terms of how I'm going to approach this matchup. Before I jump into what I'm bringing, though, and breaking down my team briefly, we do have a quick question today is, do you guys want me to upload the aDrive Army Battle League, which is my subscriber lead I do in Discord? Last year, what I did is I set myself a 20-minute timer. I live built in Pokemon Showdown on the video, and then I battled like right away. So pretty interesting approach, and I thought it was really cool, constructive for you guys, and it was a lot of fun. We ended up winning the championship as well, which was kind of cool. So if you want to see me continue doing that, let me know. And good news, you can apply to be in the aDrive Army Battle League. We're taking applications for the next 2 weeks. The only catch is you do have to be a Twitch subscriber to get access to that. It does cost $4.99 to subscribe to my Twitch channel. No pressure. I'm just letting you guys know that we do filter the applications. You do have to be a Twitch subscriber to apply, but you can join my Discord server either way, subscriber or not. That's in the description below. And if you have Amazon Prime, you actually get a free subscription once per month, so you can actually just subscribe for free on my channel if you just link up your Prime account. So again, we keep it that way. That's because it's always been that way, and we were gonna have a lot of applicants, so it's a way to kind of help us narrow the applicants down. So that's that. If you want to try to join or apply, by all means, no promises you'll get in. I actually don't do the applications, my mod team does, but just something to make note of there. So let me know if you want to see that. Let's talk about the team. Let's do it. Let's jump into what I'm bringing. So let's kick things off here. Bringing Slurpuff. I mentioned the lack of hazard removal. Blaziken, Altaria. Really don't anticipate Altaria with defog. It really doesn't have the space for it. It has to run Fire Blast for Bronzong. Most likely Earthquake in return. And then from there, maybe Dragon Dance or Cotton Guard or Roost or Heal Bell, something like that. Really don't anticipate defog. But Dazzling Gleam, Sticky Web, Flamethrower, Aromatherapy. This is a very supporty Slurpuff. Max HP, max defense. Basically, I bring it in as a response to Blaziken because Blaziken's actually kind of a problem for me. I get my webs up. If it hits me too hard, I have my Citrus Berry that unlocks my Unburden, and then I'm faster than stuff. Then I can get Sticky Webs up, which is really nice. Aromatherapy is just a backup. A Flamethrower for Jirachi and Dazzling Gleam just to hit everything else pretty much. I'm bringing my Tornadus here, F5. I've got a very defensive Tornadus. I'm actually rocking pretty much max HP and a lot of defense. I have no offensive investment on this thing. Taunt, U-turn, knockoff, air slash. This is probably 100% my lead. This allows me to taunt Jirachi, stop that thing. I can knock off some items, I can pivot around. It also allows me to get Rocky Helmet chip damage on things like Blaziken and Altaria. I am incredibly bulky, as I mentioned, so we can take a lot of hits from things. I can really punish things like Jirachi trying to U-turn, and so on and so forth. I've got my Thundurus here, Flash Drive coming back. I'm bringing max speed, max special attack with the nasty plot. If I have Sticky Webs up, I actually outspeed the entire team, unless he's Choice Scarfed on stuff. We pretty much outspeed the entire team anyway. The only thing that's faster than us is Gengar, and again, with webs up, we outspeed everything. Nasty Plot, if I get a Nasty Plot up, we pretty much just win. Again, their primary switching is probably going to be Porygon 2 because of the Volt Absorb that it would trace, but I have Titanium Z Focus Blast, which absolutely annihilates Porygon, so This I bring in against pretty much Vaporeon. I set up a nasty plot, and then we just wreck the wreck house. Actually, we can pretty much just win with Thundurus if sticky webs are up. I've got ALOLA and Muck here, rocking a lot of special defense, a little bit of attack, a little bit of bulk, knockoff, poison jab, shadow sneak, pursuit with the assault vest. This thing is designed to switch into Gengar. Obviously, I switch into Gengar all day. I pursuit, it dies. If he runs Destiny Bond, pursuit actually doesn't knock it out unless he switches, so I have that as a failsafe. I've got shadow sneak there as well for priority. I love the poison touch, poison jab, big chance to poison. Everything else, 30% chance to poison. Not too bad there. Muck is really kind of interesting because it's not super good in this matchup except for Gengar and maybe like Shaman, but I really like it either way. Bronzong, max special defense, max HP, Jar Ball, Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Toxic. Leftovers, this thing takes on everything from Altaria pretty much. It shuts down Altaria, shuts down Porygon, it shuts down Jirachi pretty much. Very, very good Pokemon. Toxic Knights, Earthquake's there for Jirachi. Gengar switch in, Blaziken switch in, and you know, got the Gyro Ball there for Altaria and from some of the faster stuff, and then Rocks just because Rocks are good. And then last but not least, with webs up, Permafrost here puts in the finest of work. Earthquake, Ice Shard, Icicle Crash knockoff. I wanted something that kind of saved me in case Bronzong gets weakened and you know he kind of sets up, and Ice Shard's really good. Earthquake actually 2 shots, Vaporeon, which is pretty cool, especially if rocks are up. So I've got that, and we just hit everything really hard. So Mamoswine is just really good, and I think that the priority is very valuable, especially when things like Xurkitree can actually be kind of scary. If he gets a Z Hypnosis, gets that speed boost, puts something to sleep, and it kind of gets a little tricky to try to knock that thing out. So I'm doing a huge chunk, like 50% with Ice Shard, and that's also why I have Shadow Sneak on ALOLA and Muck. So that's pretty much the rundown there of the squad. I'm gonna get connected with KayCreigh. We're gonna throw down here in week 9, hopefully pick up a W. If we win this match, we pretty much lock playoffs. It's not guaranteed, but like we pretty much will lock playoffs. So this is a pretty good one for us. We definitely want to win this one. So I'm gonna get connected. I'll see you guys in a few. All right, guys, so we are connected here with the LA Spice and Kaylin, or KayCreigh. Let's see what 6 Pokemon they're gonna be bringing for this week 9 showdown. No Blaziken! Ah, dude, that makes me really happy because Slurpuff is gonna be much better. We're gonna see, what is that, Xurkitree instead. So this tells me that I really need to get my webs up. Like, that is a priority. I still think I'm gonna stick to my lead of Tornadus, just because I think that Tornadus is actually really good in this matchup. But like, dude, webs are so good. Yeah, I feel like Jirachi lead is too likely, so I'm gonna lead Tornadus, but I just don't see like I don't see a Zerk lead, so because I have so many things to deal with it. So yeah, let's just lead Tornadus as I had initially planned. But I really like sticky webs in this matchup. I mean, they are phenomenal. So first opportunity to get those webs up, we have to do it. The one thing is we just gotta, like, we don't want to do it against the poor guy. It's gonna be a little tricky to get them up, but I think if I can get the webs up, we're gonna be in good shape. So that's gonna come from like a U-turn pivot. But let's just leave other Tornadus here and kind of see what happens. Definitely some threats though. We have to be very cautious of some of these Pokemon, but I think we can kind of navigate it because Xurkitree has a weird situation where like if it energy balls, it kind of is in a weird spot. Like if it HP ices, like, you know what I mean? So it are gonna lead with Zappy Boy here. So a little surprised to see that. So we have to kind of decide, is it gonna be Scarfed and is it gonna try to Volt Switch me or is it something else? I'm going to 1,000,000% expect a Scarfed Xurkitree here, and I'm gonna actually make a middle ground prediction and go into Mamoswine here. I'm gonna make the middle ground play because I don't think you Energy Ball here under any circumstances. You either HP Ice or you Volt Switch, or you, I guess, Psychium Z Hypnosis, but I'm expecting this to be Scarfed. So we're gonna switch out here. We're gonna go Mamo. I'm just gonna scout and just see what the Zerk's gonna do, and then kind of go from there. A little surprised to see Zerk lead though, like I said, but it's probably Choice Scarfed. I think it makes sense to be Choice Scarfed, so we're gonna assume Scarfed. So we're just gonna go right into my Mamoswine here, and we're gonna find out if it's Scarfed. Like, I'll probably go Mamo and then switch out if it's HP Ice or Volt Switch, just to find out if it's Scarfed or not. And you know, their Mamoswine switch is probably gonna be Vaporeon, so I might be able to just go right into Slurpuff. So we could probably do that. Or maybe P2, but either way, we should probably be able to get Slurpuff in. But I'm not gonna stay in here, because if it's Scarfed, I really just don't want to risk that. Because it's not worth losing my Tornadus on the first turn. When Tornadus doesn't have like a super insanely good matchup, but it's still really good for knockoff and taunt and things like that. So again, really surprised to see the Zerk, but that's okay. Yeah, so straight Mamo here. I think Mamo is a pretty safe play because I just don't see an energy ball coming here. If they set up though, that's like top tier, but I just don't see the energy ball play. And maybe they do just tail glow. They're gonna get a Z move. Is it the Psyche MZ? That's Electrium Z, isn't it? Boosted its Z, its speed using its Z power. Went for Z Electric Terrain. Okay. So Z Electric Terrain gets the terrain up, boosting its speed. Okay, that's definitely a little bit sketchy. I'm expecting an energy ball here. I assume an energy ball is coming my way, so I'm gonna go into Sherbird, I think. Yeah, I think we have to go Sherbird here. Okay, so we see Electric Terrain. Okay, and it was Z. So Electrium Z, Electric Terrain. Okay. I'm a little nervous. I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little nervous, but you can't set up right now. You gotta go for the energy ball if you have it. So I'm gonna go straight Muck here because Muck should be able to take a couple hits, even in terrain. Like I can take you know, an Electric Terrain boosted Thunderbolt, and I can do, you know, 50% back with Poison Jab. So we can do that. I really don't want to lose my Muck, but if I have to kind of hit him a little bit here, we can do that. So here comes the energy ball. So okay, that's good. That's gonna do absolutely nothing. And now we know the electric move is coming, which is fine. I have to just take it. We're just gonna have to Poison Jab here. Let's go for a Poison Jab. Very obvious play. And then we might have to make some switches, some predictions. If I can get, you know, Mamo in or whatever, that could be really good. I don't know if it's worth it, but I might do it anyway. But yeah, I can take a Thunderbolt. It's gonna do like 30% or something. Assuming, let's see here, if he goes +1, he's gonna do like 40%. I actually might be able to take 2 T-Bolts. And Poison Jab's gonna do like 50%, 50 to 60 plus the chance of poison. So we can revenge it with Mamo as well. So it's not like we're in the worst case scenario, like the worst situation. But definitely a good set. The Electric Terrain Zerk to lead this game off is kind of tricky because it really puts me in an awkward situation where I'm gonna have to like burn my Muck like early game here because of the speed boost. So good set, Z Electric Terrain. Yeah, I'm curious what if it has HP Ice. It probably doesn't have Tail Glow. If it has Energy Ball and Thunderbolt. So I'm curious what that last move is. Probably HP Ice. I'm gonna assume HP Ice. So, yeah, we're just gonna go for the Poison Jab here. Pretty straightforward play. For me, I know I can take a T-Bolt, so I'm not, like, really concerned. I'm surprised at what the debate here is, but maybe seeing if I was gonna switch again or something. But T-Bolt's gonna come through. That doesn't do nearly enough to me. I can get a Poison Jab off. That's fine. This should do about 60%. That's gonna do a lot of damage. You get a nice crit. Don't get the poison, though. The poison would have actually been so clutch. Okay, so now I have to make a decision. What are the chances my opponent here makes a play and decides to go for an energy ball? I'm gonna guess very low. I'm gonna guess very low. You know? So I'm gonna make the play into Mamo again. Oof, that's risky though. It is very risky. It is very, very risky to go Mamo here. I really want to keep my Muck around though because I think it's good for Gengar. I'm gonna go Mamo. If I go Mamo and make that misplay though, do I just die or? Ah, that's so risky. Mamo just wins this game with webs up though. What are the chances my opponent energy balls here? I'm gonna Shadow Sneak. I'm gonna Shadow Sneak on the off chance I knock him out. It's too risky, man. I really want to make the play into Mamo because I feel like it's such an obvious play, but we're not gonna get the KO. He's gonna T-Ball. I could have went Mamo and saved my Muck, but what are you gonna do, man? We are gonna take that barely, and I can just Shadow Sneak here and knock him out. If he wants to switch, then switch, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm a little bit bummed because that was a really easy play for me to make. That was a really easy play for me to make to just go Mamo there, but I didn't, you know, I don't want to make a super easy prediction in Mamo and then lose Mamo right there, and then I'm in a situation where like, I just get destroyed, you know? It's not worth. It's not worth it because if Mamo goes down there, like with webs up, Mamo just kind of wrecks. So I'm gonna cut my losses here and say, you know what? You got rid of my Muck. It's annoying, But with webs up, your Gengar is really not that big of an issue. So we're just going to Shadow Sneak here. If you want to switch out, by all means, you can go into your Porygon here. That gets me my opportunity to go to my Slurpuff. I can get my webs up and whatever else. So not the end of the world. And I can still keep Muck around. Their rocker is Jirachi, so I'm not really super concerned about that. But, dude, yeah, I could have made a really... This Xurkitree set is definitely a good set, for sure. Just to get that speed boost right away. I was so concerned about Scarfed, obviously. Gonna save it. Okay, so Zerk's on, like, let's say 2%. Here comes Ernie, which is gonna be the Duck here. That's fine. Gonna Trace my Poison Touch. Doesn't really matter, but we know it was Trace. And I'm gonna go for Shadow Sneak. Obviously, doesn't do anything, so that's fine. Terrain's gone. Xurkitree can't Z-move again, so it's way less of an issue now. And let's just go right into our Cupcake here and try to get our webs up. The only way this goes horribly wrong is if for some reason this Porygon is running Magic Coat. Magic Coat is a move that like bounces back status moves and stuff. Very, very tech on P2. I don't anticipate it. But that's a chance I'm going to take right now because I really want to get these webs up. So I'm going to see Tri Attack. That's fine. No status, please. Perfect. And I'm just going to go for those webs now. So let's just go for them. Again, there's a chance that they can bounce them back here, but webs hurt my opponent more than they hurt me, in my opinion, because Thundurus just kind of wins if I can set up a nasty plot. So, because with a nasty plot, I'm going to like one-shot the Altaria, I'm going to beat the Zerk now, I can Z-move the Porygon, you know what I mean? So we have some options there. We're going to get our webs up. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to see. And, I'm assuming we're gonna get Toxic, that's fine. I actually kind of want to keep my Slurpuff around. I think I'm gonna try to avoid popping my Berry right now. I can switch out into my Tornadus and go for a knockoff now and start to pressure him. So I'm gonna do just that. So let's go to Tornadus, which I don't really care if I get Toxic or anything at this point. I just want to start knocking things off. And now that I have webs up, I don't have to worry about Scarfers or anything. So... The one thing is, Altaria does, yeah, I'm going to keep my Berry, because that Berry actually could be clutch later in the game. Let's go Torn. Probably get hit with a Tri Attack here, I assume. Yeah, here comes the Tri, that's fine. Probably has Recover, Toxic Tri Attack, maybe Ice Beam. That's a crit. Okay. Can I actually take a Porygon to Ice Beam? Yes. Yeah, uninvested I can. So let's just knock off. Let's just knock off. Because I can U-turn around. That crit actually does kind of matter. If I get knocked out by Ice Beam, it 100% matters. But at the expense of getting knocked off, like, I don't really... We can knock this thing off. And then that makes Mamoswine just a massive threat. Because Mamo is going to outspeed Gengar. It's going to be able to just start Earthquaking things. Obviously, Altaria can take the Earthquake because it's flying still. But once that thing loses its flying typing, those Earthquakes are really going to hurt. So, let's just get rid of this item. If I'm my opponent here, I'd probably just sack my Zerk. That's what I would do if I was my opponent. But we'll see what they're going to do. I mean, Xurkitree nets you nothing right now, so that's what I would do. With webs up, it's going to be slower than everything on my team, except for Bronzong. So, I personally would just sack the Xurkitree. But we'll see what they're going to do. Easy knockoff play for me. Getting rid of that Eviolite makes it so Thundurus doesn't necessarily have to Z-move into it. Gonna switch out. Let's see that Zerk probably come in here. Dummy Thick. What's that? That's the Altaria. Okay, that's fine with me. So we'll knock off. We're gonna force that Mega Evolution here. And we're just going to go for a nice little U-turn into... I mean, I could taunt it, but honestly, Bronzong is such a good switch in here. We could just easily go Zong right now. And we'll be in decent shape. So let's just go over the U-turn. Bronzong could obviously pressure things like Gengar and whatever else. Or can obviously pressure this Altaria if it tries to set up with a Dragon Dance or something. So let's just go over the U-turn here. That's going to activate my Regenerator, get us some health back. It's very nice. We're going to chip this thing down. So Altaria is sitting at, like, let's say 65. And our 1,000,000% play here is just Liberty, the Bronzong. I probably am going to Earthquake, I would guess. Just predicting the Gengar here. Here comes Return, so that is a physical offensive Altaria. You're going to see it's going to do very little. That is definitely physically offensive. I can 1,000,000% take a hit if it Fire Blasts. I'm not really worried about that. So I'm going to predict the Gengar and just Earthquake, I think. Because that's going to put him in Mammo Ice Shard range. So in case he's Scarfed, I believe is going to be my best play. That also covers the potential... I don't think Gengar comes in here, though. It covers the Jirachi switching as well. So we have a couple different options. But yeah, Earthquake's pretty solid here. So let's just go for the Earthquake, because that's going to hit the Jirachi. It's going to hit everything. And honestly, I don't really feel like I need rocks. So let's just go for the EQ. And if my opponent wants to Fire Blast, then by all means. But again, Fire Blast is like 30%. That's definitely a physically offensive Altaria. So... Alright, so we saw return. That means it's physically offensive. We don't have to worry about like the fully special Fire Blast Hyper Voice set. Probably Dragon Dance, maybe Cotton Guard. But again, now Altaria is in a situation where it is going to be affected by Sticky Webs when it comes back in. Here comes the switch. We'll see if it is that Gengar switch in. Here comes Ernie. So it's going to be the Porygon. That's fine. I'm not really like super concerned because I can just Earthquake this thing and then Toxic it actually. So... he's going to trace my Levitate, that's fine, but I can Toxic him and like wear him down. So he's going to obviously have the Levitate, so he actually dodges that. Kind of a cool play there. I kind of like the play back into Tornadus here, because again, I'm continuing to threaten him. So let's just go back into Tornadus. And Liberty stands strong once again, and we can go for another knockoff here and try to knock off this Porygon's item, or just go for a U-turn, whichever we decide. So... here comes the Shadow Ball. That's not concerning to me really at all. A special defense drop would be annoying, and gonna get it. So it's a bit frustrating, but it's okay. I could just U-turn here because we can go Zong if I have to, or I can go Puff if I really am concerned. I do like the knockoff play though, but I'm gonna just U-turn because of the special defense drop. So we'll just U-turn out and then get something else in to kind of pressure. And that way if Altaria comes back in, we have Mamoswine, and Mamoswine can drop an Icicle Crash or an Earthquake and really put in some work. And we also have the Thundurus play too, so. I want to keep my Tornadus healthy for sure. This match isn't going as well as I had hoped so far. Definitely not in the best of spots, but I'm just kind of trying to scout sets out and get my wall breakers in good opportunities. And you know, I feel okay right now. That special defense drop stinks because now I can't knock off, but it is what it is. I mean, I can definitely live another hit, so Kay may just switch out again. Yeah, gonna switch. So we're gonna get the momentum here, and this could get me into my Mammo. Yeah, here comes Dummy Thick, which is gonna be the Altaria. We're gonna be able to chip it down a little bit more, and put ourselves in a situation where Mammo can come in and start to threaten. And this may be my opportunity to Earthquake here, because I do believe my Mamoswine should be able to take a hit from the Altaria if it's not boosted. So let me take a look here. I can take a return, and Earthquake is actually going to knock this thing out if he's not bulky at this range, and we can two-shot the Vaporeon. So this is where Mamoswine is really clutch, and just the fact that it can put in so much work in a game. So we're gonna bring in Mammo here, and even P2, even though P2 can come in, I'm not super concerned because I have switch-ins for that. So let's just click Earthquake here, definitely my best play. That covers the Vaporeon switch-in, and Mamoswine just looks really solid in this matchup with webs up, because aside from a Scarf Gengar or Scarf Jirachi, nothing can deal with it. And Porygon 2 can definitely take some hits, but it's still gonna take 41% from an Earthquake if it's specially defensive, and I would guess it's specially defensive. So we can just freely Earthquake here, and we should be able to knock this thing out unless he's bulky. It's incredible how strong this thing is. So I'm hoping the Vaporeon switching happens, because if I can knock that thing, like weaken that thing a lot, that's gonna be massive for us in just kind of moving forward here in this match. Because we're gonna do 51 to 59, which is an 86% chance to two-shot after leftovers. So, and that's if it's max defense. And we can take a Scald, although I wouldn't want to risk it if the roll doesn't look good. So, yeah. So pretty good stuff here. I think it's either Vaporeon or Porygon coming in, or you sack Zerk here. And again, I'm still surprised they kept Zerk around last time. So if Zerk gets sacked here, that's fine by me. I mean, I have my Muck to sack, so... Although Muck's Shadow Sneak actually still looks pretty decent here. And Muck outspeeds Porygon now that I have webs up and get a knockoff off, which is also really cool. So Muck isn't looking terrible in the sense that on a U-turn it can do something. But here comes the switch into Vaporeon. It's not nicknamed. That was a mistake. It's a beautiful shiny though. Let's see how much this does. I really want to keep an eye on this this health bar here. This is really important. I want to see if this is a fully physically defensive Vaporeon or not. And we'll see how much we do here. If we get a high roll or what we're looking at. And that's looking like it's going to be right on the cusp. There's the lefties. That is right on the cusp. If they have Protect, they're going to be able to hang in there. And that is frustrating. It's going to have Protect. I'm going into Flash Trap. Make a really risky play. Well, not really risky, but I'm not going to risk this Vaporeon knocking me out with a Scald right now, living on 1 health. It was right on the cusp of that damage roll. My damage roll says 50, max HP, max defense Vaporeon, 51% we're going to do. But on the off chance it's 52%, or on the off chance it's going to Protect right now to ensure it can live another hit, I'm going to just make the switch to my Thundurus, because the worst thing that happens here is I get Scalded. My opponent's not going to Ice Beam, predicting that, and Thundurus can set up a Nasty Plot. If my opponent goes for Protect, I just get to click Nasty Plot, because this is a defensive set, clearly a defensive set. So let me see how much Ice Beam is going to do to Thundurus. 50%. Okay, so that's going to be a little tricky, but we can definitely... Ideal situation, my opponent just Protects here to get lefties recovery. I get my Thundurus in for free, and we are in a tremendous position. So let's hope that that's exactly what happens right now. Go for Protect. Now we're going to switch, okay? Into what? Into Ernie. That's the Porygon. Okay. It's going to Trace. It's going to probably think I can't do anything here and probably go for a Tri-Attack, would be my best guess. Okay, so this is my opportunity to Nasty Plot. I know I can take a Tri-Attack. It's going to do a good amount of damage to me, but I can take it. Does 37%. If I Z-move at +2 under every circumstance, I should be able to knock this thing out. So we're going to Nasty Plot here and hope for the absolute best. We're probably going to take a Tri-Attack or a Toxic. And we're not going to get frozen. We get burned. Mildly annoying. But we're not frozen at least. Alright, we're Z-moving. And if my opponent makes the God tier play of going into Gengar, then props to them. They're not going into Gengar. That's a dead Porygon. This should knock it out. And we have broken through the first of the walls, which is the Porygon. Assuming my opponent does not have a Scarf Gengar or a Scarf Jirachi, my Thundurus is about to just put in the finest of work. Actually, Scarf Jirachi I outspeed. Scarf Gengar I wouldn't outspeed. But I don't... Scarf Gengar maybe because of Trick. But this should knock this thing out without a problem, and it does. So, Thundy kills P2 with Fight Z. Okay, cool. So we knock out the Porygon 2. First thing's down, one of the big walls. Very good. Very, very good. Alright. Got rid of that. Now, what's next? If Gengar comes in, I'm going to assume Scarf, and I'm going to save something. You know, we just assume Scarf. We sack something off, we go Tornadus, and then click Knockoff. And I have to just kind of play around things for a little while until I get a favorable U-turn off, is basically how that's going to work. But Thundurus is primed right now. Here comes Bonk. That is the Rachi. Okay, so I'm thinking I just go for a T-Bolt here because I'm in a situation where I can wreck this Jirachi, and that Vaporeon is at half health, and I can T-Bolt this Jirachi to oblivion, and Jirachi, unless he's carrying Ice Punch, is really not going to do a ton to me. So I'm just going to go for a T-Bolt here because I'm in a situation where I am really hurting my opponent, and we can weaken this thing a lot, and this is one of the few things that's stopping Mamo. If it's an offensive Jirachi, we actually have a chance to knock it out. Very small chance, but there is a chance nevertheless. Jirachi's generally going to run U-turn. It's going to run Iron Head. If this thing's Scarfed, he's not going to do a ton to me unless he's carrying Ice Punch. which he could have. He could have Ice Punch. But, again, I'm not, like, super duper concerned. If I can weaken this thing a lot with the T-Bolt here, we're going to be in a great spot. And that's definitely offensive Rachi, and we actually get the KO. So, I'll take that. So, Jirachi goes down. So, I will say, I'm going to assume... Actually, I think I miscalced that. Let me look at this calc. Because I'm going to assume this is a max Jirachi here. It was actually in our favor to KO. 75% chance to one-shot that thing. That was definitely a Choice Scarf Jirachi if I have to guess. Which tells me that Gengar is probably not Scarf. Which also tells me that we might 6-0 right now with Flash Drive. And I'm going to play for the 6-0. So that is what we're going to do. I am going to just click moves. Sludge Wave the Altaria, Thunderbolt the Gengar. Thunderbolt the Vaporeon. And Zerk just dies to whatever. So I think we are in very good shape right now. And I think we will 6-0, unless it's Scarf Gengar. If it's not Scarf Gengar, we don't 6-0. If it's Scarf Gengar, we 6-0. So, feeling really good about this Thundurus right now. And feeling really good about our positioning. We just got rid of 2 of the biggest threats. Jirachi's gone. Here comes Dummy Thick. That's the Altaria. My opponent's hoping that I don't have coverage options for this, seeing that I had Fighting and Electric, which is plausible, but I have Sludge Wave as kind of a way to cover Shaman and Altaria in this matchup. So Thundurus is looking like it's got this game under wraps. Again, unless Gengar is Scarfed or Focus Sash, I guess would be the other option. But I think Mr. Thundurus here is about to get that nice 6-0, which is a pretty solid way to start our round 3. I don't want to get ahead of myself yet. We still have game to play, but I like my chances. This matchup, like I said, my opponent had a really difficult time with Sticky Webs. Their best bet was actually to bring Defog Blaziken. And Defog Blaziken is not the best way to deal with stuff. So, Thundy kills Altaria with Sludge Wave. So, Altaria is gone. And now, basically, like I said, the only situation is that Gengar. Because I believe +2 Sludge Wave would actually kill the Vaporeon. Maybe not, but I think so. If we get disabled is what I'm saying. Yeah, it should. So, if like we curse bodied the Thunderbolt, that would be kind of funny. And then I have to Sludge Wave the Vaporeon, lose my sweep. But either way, I like our position. And again, at this point, if my opponent had Sash or Scarf Gengar, they probably would have brought it in. So this match did not start the way I wanted it to. You know, my Muck was really designed to deal with the Gengar, and like it got demolished by that Xurkitree. I had to play kind of safe because I was super worried about, you know, Mamoswine going down. Here comes the Gengar. So I'm going to T-Bolt it. At this point, I don't need Thundurus because I can deal with the Vaporeon otherwise. So we're just going to T-Bolt here. And we'll see what happens. But I believe we should be good to go. If this thing's Scarfed, I would have thought my opponent would have brought it in already. So, yeah. This should knock it out unless it's Sash, which I don't think he brings Sash Gengar in this matchup. And you don't. Curse Body does activate, though. So, that could actually stop us from killing the Vaporeon. But we'll see what my opponent's going to do here. I'm going to Sludge Wave. It's 51 to 60 or whatever, so I do think that Sludge Wave will knock it out. But again, there's always the chance that the Sludge Wave is survived, which would be unfortunate for Thundurus here. But let's just Sludge Wave, see what happens. I'm assuming this is a fully physically defensive Vaporeon based on the Mamo damage, so Sludge Wave it is, and let's just hope it KOs. I mean, I could Focus Blast here and definitely KO, but then if I missed, it's kind of annoying and whatever, so let's just go for the Sludge Wave. And if Thundy doesn't get the 6-0, we can go into Tornadus or Mamoswine and have Mamoswine finish it off. So that'll be the plan. So we'll see here, but I'm feeling pretty good. The 6-0 would be really nice for our differential moving forward. That would definitely be really helpful. As we move towards playoffs, kind of secure ourselves in a really good spot and, you know, kind of go there. So, but my opponent had a really good first couple turns. That Xurkitree set was really solid. Electric Terrain Xurkitree was very good. We had to kind of play around that. I was really on the defensive initially, but here comes the Sludge Wave. This should knock it out. Don't ruin my 6-0. Ah, there we go. Cool. So Thundy's going to pick up the 6-0. Very nice. Thundy kills Vaporeon with Sludge Wave. And then Thundy kills Xurkitree with Sludge Wave. Okay, cool. So we'll take the 6-0 win. GG's to my opponent. Sorry to 6-0 you. I know those are brutal and they're never fun. But you didn't play badly, Kay. The Xurkitree set was really good. But I knew in this matchup, you really didn't have a lot of options to deal with Sticky Webs if I got them up. And Xurkitree... Thundurus, once it set up a nasty plot, just absolutely destroyed your team. There wasn't a whole lot you can do in that situation. There just wasn't a lot you can do. So, GG's to KayCreigh, guys. Show some love. Hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you guys are new. Feel free to check out Kay's channel as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. We actually have a really epic match coming up. Our next couple matches are pretty nuts. We have Leo, 6'Hax. He's won championships many times. Very, very good battler. Then we have Gator, who's one of the top battlers in the team. I think he's actually only one loss this season. And then we have, I think Leader Geo, actually, from the old GBA days, and he's beaten me a handful of times. So we got our work cut out for us these last 3 weeks, so it should be a lot of fun, and we're gonna rock with this new team. I'm excited. Thundurus right there putting in the work, and actually, what's crazy is I'm pretty sure in one game, Thundurus has officially taken our team lead for kills. Is that correct? Ties Mega Lopunny for kills this season on our team. Pretty nuts. That's it for me, guys. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.